Hello students, welcome to another class of physics where we are learning about the concepts of force and pressure. In the previous classes we learned that force is a vector quantity which is completely specified by its magnitude, that is the value of the force, and the direction of the force. We also learned that force is unbalanced or balanced in nature. Unbalanced force is that which can bring the change in state of rest of a body, or it can change the speed or direction of a body, whereas balanced forces are those which can change the shape of a body. Then we learned that forces are due to interactions, whether they are in contact or they are at a distance. If two bodies are interacting with each other when they are in contact, we call such interactions as contact forces. When two bodies interact with each other from a distance, we call such forces as non-contact forces. Coming to the word interaction, the word itself is a small word, but it has a very wide meaning. If we look into our body is made up of many organs. Organs are made up of tissues. Tissues are made up of cells. Cells are made up of various biological molecules, which in turn are made up of atoms. And inside the atoms we find many subatomic particles like electrons, protons and neutrons, which are interacting with each other. Now these interactions, as a result, they are building blocks of our life and they are creating the cells, which in turn are somehow related to the overall functioning of our body. Similarly, going to a wider extent, the force of gravitation is holding us to the earth. The force of gravitation of sun is holding the earth around the sun. The force of gravitation of the galaxy, Milky Way galaxy, is holding the sun along with the entire planets and the asteroids and everything that constitutes our solar system into the galaxy and many more. So the interactions are very tiny, ranging from the interactions inside the atom to very high range interactions to the interactions which are there in the entire universe. In today's lecture, we will be learning about tension and normal reaction in detail. See this belt which I am holding in my hands. This belt is quite loose and slack. But when I pull it between my hands like this, the part which has been pulled becomes taut, and this force which appears in the belt is known as tension. Some more common examples of tension can be easily seen in cable cars. Cable cars, I hope you are familiar with them. Lifts or elevators. The lift is held with the help of a cable, and that cable is in tension. Cranes, which are used to lift heavy loads, they are seen in suspension bridges like Bandra-Worli Sea Link. They are also seen very commonly in our muscles, tendons, vocal cords. Our vocal cords, when they come in tension or when they are the tension changes, that leads to change in the frequency of sound that is produced by human beings. तो ये टेंशन आता कहाँ से है और होता क्या है? तो आप लोगों को मालूम है कि हमारे जो पूरा मैटर होता है, चाहे सॉलिड हो, लिक्विड हो या गैस हो, इट इज ऑल मेड अप ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स, एंड मॉलिक्यूल्स आर फर्दर डिवाइडेड इनटू एटम्स. And atoms are made up of electrons, protons and neutrons. Now these charged particles, they are in motion also, and when they interact with each other, they exert force on each other. So when I try to pull a string, then the electromagnetic force which is there between the molecules of the string or the belt which I was pulling, तो ये जो forces, जो atoms हैं सारे, इन एटम्स के ऊपर जब एक फोर्स लगता है जो इन एटम्स को खींचने की कोशिश करता है, तो ये एटम्स वापस अपनी जगह पर आने की कोशिश करते हैं. इनका आपस का जो इंटरैक्शन होता है ये इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक इन नेचर होता है. इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक का मतलब होता है, इलेक्ट्रो मीन्स चार्ज और मैग्नेटिक का मतलब मैग्नेट से रिलेटेड है. तो चार्जेस जो है, मैंने अभी आपको बताया, दे आर प्रेजेंट इनसाइड द एटम, और जो चार्जेस एटम में होते हैं वो कंटिन्यूअस मोशन में भी होते हैं. तो जब चार्जेस मोशन में होते हैं, चार्जेस हैं तो टर्म इलेक्ट्रो आया, और जब चार्जेस मोशन में है तो उससे मैग्नेटिज्म भी आया. तो इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक फोर्सेस बिटवीन द एटम्स व्हेन दे आर डिस्टर्ब्ड, दे लीड टू द फोर्स ऑफ टेंशन व्हिच कम्स इनटू द स्ट्रिंग्स. तो इसलिए हम इसको बोलते हैं कि टेंशन इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक ओरिजिन का है. मैंने इस पॉइंट पर एक स्टार लगाया है इंडिकेटिंग दैट कि ये लेवल अभी आपके काम का फिलहाल आपको समझने के लिए आपको बताया गया है, बट ये आपकी बुक में मेंशन नहीं है. दिस जस्ट फॉर एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग और बेटर वे ऑफ लर्निंग. सो टेंशन कम्स because of the electromagnetic interaction between the atoms. Whenever some distortion is brought about in the string or in the cable, then this electromagnetic interaction tries to recompensate those forces which are trying to deform the string. So that is why we are saying it in electromagnetic origin. Then tension arises in ropes, strings, cables. This we have already seen, and its applications also we have seen. So this is a kind of a force which arises due to interaction between object and the spring. दो एग्जाम्पल्स देखते हैं हम यहाँ पर. इन दिस एग्जाम्पल ये एक ब्लॉक है, ये स्ट्रिंग है और ये एक रिजिड सपोर्ट है. इसको हम रिजिड सपोर्ट को सीलिंग भी मान सकते हैं. सीलिंग में एक स्ट्रिंग के साथ में एक ब्लॉक को सस्पेंड किया हुआ है. तो जब ब्लॉक को हम सस्पेंड करते हैं तो ब्लॉक इस स्ट्रिंग को नीचे की तरफ खींच रहा है, और इसी तरीके से जो सीलिंग है वो सीलिंग भी इस स्ट्रिंग को ऊपर की तरफ खींच रही है. एक और चीज यहाँ पर हम मेंशन करेंगे कि जो भी कांटेक्ट फोर्सेस हैं वो सब एक्शन और रिएक्शन को फॉलो करते हैं. आपने शायद ये अभी पढ़ा नहीं है, बट दिस इज अ वेरी कॉमन लॉ ऑफ नेचर दैट फॉर एवरी एक्शन देयर इज एन इक्वल एंड ऑपोजिट रिएक्शन. So let us consider this block. If this block pulls the string in downward direction, then the string also tends to pull the block upward. And this is the reason why tension arises in the string. Similarly, at this end, when the string is trying to pull the ceiling downwards, the ceiling is also trying to pull the string upward. So that is why tension arises in the string. A common way to represent tension here in this level is I can show the weight of the block acting downwards and tension pulling the block upwards. The similar phenomena can be shown here also, but let us skip it. That is not much needed here. We can show it like this. Now coming to another example here, which I am showing it with the help of a ball and stick model. These are two children, suppose, who are trying to pull a rope, showing the game of tug of war. So this rope which is being pulled by each child is pulling the rope towards himself. So there is some tension arising in this. अब ये जो रोप है ये इस चाइल्ड नंबर वन को ये रोप अपनी तरफ खींच रहा है, और जो चाइल्ड नंबर 1 है ये रोप को अपनी तरफ खींच रहा है. इसी तरीके से जो सेकेंड चाइल्ड है, दिस सेकेंड चाइल्ड इज ऑल्सो पुलिंग द रोप टुवर्ड्स हिमसेल्फ and the rope is pulling the child towards in the opposite direction. So here also we can show tension by representing these arrows. Usually if the string is not so heavy, if the string is massless as compared to the forces which are applied, then tension in the entire string is taken to be uniform. पूरी string में same tension रहेगा. लेकिन अगर मान लीजिए कि रोप जो है, जो केबल है, वो बहुत भारी है और उस पे जो आपने मास लगाया या जो फोर्स लगाया दैट इज नॉट सो स्ट्रॉन्ग एज कंपेयर टू द वेट ऑफ द रोप, तो फिर टेंशन पूरे स्ट्रिंग में अलग अलग जाएगा. लेकिन अभी के लिए आपको इतना समझना है कि दिस इज द वे हाउ वी कैन शो द फोर्स ऑफ टेंशन. आपके लेवल पर एग्जाम्स में कुछ क्वेश्चंस इस तरीके से पूछे जा सकते हैं कि सपोज एक डायग्राम दिया है आपको और इस डायग्राम में सारी चीजों को लेबल करना है, लेबलिंग ऑल द फोर्सेस व्हिच आर प्रेजेंट. So you can label this downward force as the weight of the block, upward force as the tension which is pulling the block in upward direction. अगर इस डायग्राम में दिया है तो यहाँ पर आप ये जो एरोज है इस पे T मार्क कर सकते हैं. T is used to represent the word tension. Understand another contact force called normal reaction. Let us consider this example. In this example, we can see that a book is lying on the table. The book is applying some force on the table in downward direction. The force applied by the book on the table is equal to its weight. In turn, the table is also applying an upward force on the book, and that this force is in perpendicularly upward direction. This force applied by the table on the book in perpendicularly upward direction is called normal reaction. Normal word means perpendicular, and reaction because in a sense we can say that table is giving this reaction, so it is a normal reaction. if it had not been normal, had this force been like this, then there would have been some resultant of this force acting on the book, and the book would have been moved in the direction of force, unbalanced force. But how and what amount of force it had been, this you will learn in your higher classes by vector analysis. Right now we will learn about the normal reaction only, that the book is at rest because of the normal reaction. This force, normal reaction, also has its origin in electromagnetism. जब दो surfaces contact में आती हैं, like that which you saw of a book and the table, when these two surfaces are in contact with each other, then they exert some force on each other. The molecules, electrons, protons of the surface of the book and the electrons, protons of the surface of the table, they exert force on each other, and because of this force which they exert on each other, an electromagnetic force called normal reaction also comes into play. We will be learning about friction as well. Friction is also a consequence of this contact force only, and this you will also learn in the forthcoming lectures. So normal reaction also has its origin in electromagnetism. Also, this is not there in your book, but just for your information I have told you. Then normal reaction, as we have seen, it always acts in perpendicular direction to the surface. Then applications of normal reaction. One of the application that you have seen in the example that I have shown, that the normal reaction is able to keep an object at rest over a surface. In our case also, when we are able to stand on the floor, it is the normal reaction which is balancing our weight. Suppose a case where we are trying to walk on sand. When we try to walk on sand, then our weight is not completely balanced by the force applied by the particles of sand, because the sand particles are not that rigid. So normal reaction provided by the particles of sand is not enough or sufficient to balance our weight. That is why we find it difficult to walk on sand. Then while we are going in an elevator, up or down in a lift, we feel some kind of change in our weight. When the lift moves up, we find that our weight slightly increases, and when the lift comes down, we slightly feel some change in our weight in terms of some loss in weight. Similarly, when we go in the space shuttles outer in the space, then there we find that the weight is absolutely lost. So these all are consequences of normal reaction, whether normal reaction increases, decreases or becomes zero. This also you will learn in your higher classes, but just to bring a picture of normal reaction in front of you, I have brought these points in your notice so that you may understand that why we are learning about this force called normal reaction.